Anime that didn't even try animating.
Have you ever watched an anime that was so good you had to make a full video out of it? Kamikatsu, working for God in a godless world, is what happens when you take the scriptwriter.
Wait, I don't know anything about this one. Wait, Jordan Peterson was the voice actor.
Voice actors like, oh, I don't know, what? The voice actor for Yuji Itadori, Dandy from Space Dandy, Mitsuri from Not Space Dandy.
Okay, that's the best.
Fucking
Oh my god, this is one of my favorite voice actors.
Maybe, just maybe, you don't know any of these people and you're a fucking idiot.
I know the Shinji voice actor.
Lord Jesus. Nothing to say. Nothing to say.
Then at least you're probably aware for the voice actor of the teensy tiny little role of Ai Hoshino from Oshinoko.
Okay, she's very famous.
Arguably the biggest anime of the season.
And I fucking hate this anime.
Now, take all of that juicy, sweet nectar.
I don't know. This seems so disgusting and beautiful at the same time. I don't know how to feel about
the animation budget of 7 Deadly Sins. This is what you get.
Oh my god.
And it's fucking perfect. Kamikatsu.
Wait, what's this? This is art. This is the real animation. This is the greatest thing ever.
It's about this guy who, in the first 10 seconds, gets straight up tribute sacrificed by his own father in the hopes that he will one day be saved by their holy god Mitama, and therefore
it was a lot of jacked guys
ascend the throne as their next leader. Now, if you listen to those words carefully,
this is the gay tribe.
You should have noticed 2 things. One is that what I said was total horseshit, and 2 is that this motherfucker is steaming. This isn't normal. No one else is doing it. This man is literally emitting water vapor from his body like he's the fucking Cho.
This is testosterone. When you're so masculine and alpha, your testosterone becomes a mist, an aura.
I wonder if The Rock does that. Anyway, knowing that he threw his entire life away, basically having 0 friends, no hoes, and peaking Silver 2 in Valorant.
But he had no choice. They just threw him out.
So curses the life that he's led. As he's thrown into the deepest depths of the ocean, slowly seeing his life fade away, he wishes to have lived in a world where God and religion had never existed. Now, the following scene I'm about to show you is an artistic
he's the enemy of God
representation of the people in my comment section.
It's not a good choice, man. If you want to have an enemy, don't choose God to be our enemy. Choose like somebody you know, some fat kid from the school or something like that, but don't choose God to be our enemy. It's not a fair battle.
Thanks, guys.
Don't choose God to be our enemy. This is an device. What? No.
This channel is oh my god, what is she doing? Oh my god. Oh my. So he reincarnates with a hand job.
No. Never a normal enemy. It's always something bizarre.
Another world, and realizes that not only do these people have no god or religion, evidently, but they're also
God's what's saving us for having a beautiful girl doing this.
It's like going to a Karu fan meetup on opposite day. So Roy, the resident pervert of the town, and Alural, the girl who likes our MC, have decided that enough is enough and that they have to go to the imperial capital to learn the forbidden art of sex. This is all going somewhere.
Never learn this. This is dangerous.
Promise.
Don't fuck with that. Don't fuck with that.
There, we catch a glimpse of a ritual.
I don't touch it. I don't touch this witchcraft, this dark arts. I don't touch that.
That is later revealed to be a part of the country's end-of-life system. Since God doesn't exist in this world, no one in the capital fears death, and anyone who opposes the capital's rules are banished to the outskirts of the city. And just as we're about to leave, we see that Alural and her sister Siluril's...
Yeah, this is the future, to be honest. People are becoming like this,
names are next in line for execution. One thing leads to another, and in the end, Yukito desperately tries to save Alural's life. At the foot of death, with nothing but straws left to grasp on, he calls out to the one thing that his dad left him with. A knockoff souvenir charm that he's supposed to use to call upon the almighty Mitama himself. And thankfully... Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding.
Oh my god, how can this happen? Wait, she came out of the sun.
Turns out Mitama is a lolly, I hate my life, and now they're public.
Wait, the sun is just giving weird girls.
Great, now we can talk about the things I liked about this show. Much like any other isekai, the plot of this show is irrelevant. There's no grand narrative, no serious story that it's trying to tell.
No,
I mean, there is, but I don't really give a fuck about that. I just came for the bullshit that goes around in this world, and the anime delivers on that. Sometimes you just have to put down
Wait,
the
the guy
6-star
was flying
Michelin dishes.
on horizontal position.
Came for the bullshit that goes around in this world, and the anime delivers
What
on
the
that.
fuck
Sometimes
is
you just have to
this?
put down the 6-star Michelin dishes and settle for some junk food once in a while. And Kamikatsu,
I love junk
working
food.
for God in a godless world, fills me up so good. That
Ah.
didn't come out right. It's a show that doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's pretty evident when you hear the title of
Yes.
each episode.
What the fuck? I can't. No, it's impossible to read this. I'm gonna try. No, I'm not.
かけまくも賢き御霊のほみかミクスしくたへな
What the fuck are you saying? Every episode is an invitation for you to laugh
Man, the guy's just playing with the
So
other
what's
guy's nipples.
and shown on screen. Whether
This
it
is
be
the episode. This is why you made this giant title.
stupid hijinks that usually involve this guy, the big booby fan service, which wasn't really all that funny, except for this, or the terrible, terrible animation. Fun fact
Oh
about
my
that,
God.
I actually did a bit of digging, and after reading a couple chapters from the manga, specifically
Yeah,
this
the manga is better. I knew
scene in
thing to say.
particular, it was not supposed to look bad. Look at this. This is what we got in the anime. Now look at this. This
Okay,
is what
this
they
is
got
like
in the
Berserk. Oh, no,
manga.
I'm not gonna say that. This is like Berserk, but
It's day and night. This
but-
boar was supposed to look menacing. It was supposed to be scary. I'm pissing my pants as we speak. Meanwhile, the only thing this is scaring are the people on Twitter complaining about the animation.
But I think, like, the show is dog shit. Everybody knows this. The show is ridiculous.
The characters are
So
also
you might as well do something weird with the animation.
a point of interest.
I don't
for
know.
me.
I
Not
like
because
it.
they're good, but because of how awfully generic and one-dimensional they are. Roy's a 24/7
At least
horn
the
dog.
CGI is
Auror's a
memorable.
soft-spoken ooh girl. Mitama's a lolly. Cillaril's the best character on the show, and Klen is the calm-headed cool guy. They're a whole ass
What?
sitcom cast, and in
This is
between
the-
all that
the
mess sits
weirdos.
Yukito, who plays the classic straight man role who tries to sort everyone out. Everyone's specs are fully maxed out on one personality trait, and it's such a tried and true formula, rinsed and repeated on so many occasions.
Man, this song
And yet
doesn't.
there's still something so infectious about it. Again, this will
What the
vary
fuck
from
with this song?
person to person, but if you're like me and just want to turn your brain off, this sitcom style ensemble and their personalities will
Yes,
most certainly
I'm
rub
like
off
you.
on you. You can't help but smile when
I have to be honest. I'm not trying to turn my brain off. I'm trying to turn my brain on, to be honest, because my brain is always off.
something good happens
That's
to
my
them,
problem.
and that
I don't
for
have a
me
brain.
is indicative of good writing. When you make me want to care for the characters. There are definite budget cuts, yes, like the constant reusing of animations, the blatant jerry building of the 8-bit video game style, but that didn't bother me specifically because I actually like 8-bit designs, but I do understand that it isn't for everybody, and it's a very obvious cost-cutting technique on
I
the
like it
studio's
too
part.
because
Even the
when you have a real identity, I think
Author
it's cool
Akash-
because at least it's not generic. It is a generic story, but with a strange animation. So
Shiro
it's better.
confessed on
It's
Twitter
not
that
so
it was to
generic
save
then.
costs when talking about some of the scenes. But I like to think that there's a difference between studios using cheap cost-saving techniques
I love this one.
for the purpose of, say, meeting a
weird
deadline
wacky
versus
CGI.
using them in a creative way that benefits the series. Now, just to clarify,
Oh my god, this is the worst nightmare I could have as a child. If I watched this as a child, if I had watched this, like, oh my god, I would be so traumatized.
I'm not giving an excuse for the 8-bit animations. In fact, some of its use in the anime was actually to its detriment, so I'm not saying it's good to cut corners. But when talking about the
Ooh.
use of bad
This is
CGI
so
and
weird.
this one live action scene specifically, I think the studio handled it pretty well. So Akashiro tweeted out that when dealing with the farming scene, the director of the studio, Inaba Yuki, said this to him, which reads,
Nice, I love when they say this to me. I always get angry.
"Bro, let's use a real life." And so they
Nice.
did. Just for comparison, I went ahead and looked
Wait,
for the
the monster was in your real life?
scene in the manga, and what do I get? Nothing. It's literally just farming. Now, imagine the director had taken this scene and interpreted it one-to-one and actually animated it. What would have happened? Well,
Nice.
one, it wouldn't have been funny, and two, people wouldn't be talking about the show as much, giving it less media attention. Because let me tell you, that's how I discovered the show. Now, the way you see it as either a bonus or a detriment to the anime is completely
I have to say this. If it was Uzumaki, I would be so fucking angry because it's a very interesting story and everybody loves it, and Uzumaki is a fucking great manga, and we want to see a great thing. So when Uzumaki was so bad, everybody got so angry, and I was angry too. But when it's this funny, weird story, this goofy ass story, I wanna watch the weird one.
Up to you, but
the weird
I think
animation.
all press is good press. And by extension of that, we can apply the same argument
Yeah,
for the
show me
CGI
this.
monsters. It's painfully obvious that this studio isn't beating Demon Slayer or Chainsaw Man when it comes to animation. The studio itself knows that. So instead of making some mediocre to generic looking monster with their budget, why not just go full throttle, or I guess no throttle, and just make the shit as ugly as possible
Man, Dark Souls 1 has some bosses like this.
for comedic effect. Sure, it wasn't the intended outcome of the author, but you get what you're given and you find a way to use that to your advantage. Because in the end, there's a difference when it's intentional and unintentionally bad. Now for my videos, this is all I can do, so you just have to deal with it. But you should still subscribe.
Yeah, but I like those weird things. I'm that type of weird guy who likes weird things, and hey, that's what I have to say.